ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Fourth and 2 podcast.
Fourth and 2.
Here with your hosts, Jerome, Preston. Man, and this is episode number 7. Already on episode number 7,
Dude, I stopped counting.
You
We're
said
at
I'm
7.
Episode 7.
Dang.
So this segment for episode 7 is NFL recaps, just reacting to some of the games across the league, and just kind of seeing how they went. But Jerome, why don't you start us off with the Thursday night Ravens-Chiefs matchup? What did you think about that game?
Man, that was probably the best game one of the best of the whole NFL slate this week. That game was, that last play, incredible game. Two good teams. The Chiefs, I picked Baltimore to win that game, and the Chiefs came out, did their thing. I will admit that was shocking. I think the Chiefs got better. I think the Chiefs might actually, I'm not a big believer in this over the offseason, but I think the Chiefs might actually get that three-peat.
Ooh.
Yeah. What do you think about that game?
It was a good game, man. It was. It probably was one of the top games for this week. Genuinely, it was really good, man. I think the only major takeaway is Isaiah like this guy wears some white cleats, man. That's about it. But kind of like Lamar said, got to put them white cleats on. Man. But no, in all seriousness, it was a great game. I think it's the AFC Championship matchup this year. Yeah. And I think it proved it. So,
that's a different.
And I had Chiefs winning it, so that was my
one
up right there.
Yeah.
But who do you got for the Friday night game? What did you think of that?
Yeah, so Packers at the Eagles.
Well, in Brazil. Yeah, I was the overseas game.
That was an interesting game. It was a game of two halves. The first half was like super defensive. A lot of Jalen Harris threw like 2 interceptions. They were figuring out how to play football again almost. Second half was just fireworks. You had Saquon go off, you had AJ Brown catch a quick slant, take it 70-something yards. It's like all offense. Unfortunately, Jordan Love got hurt. That's a bummer. Yeah. I'm big on the Packers this year, but I think that team is a good team. It was a great game. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, kind of echo everything you said. I think it was a great game. I think exactly kind of what I was talking about. The Eagles want to come out here and win, man. Yeah. I really think they make a run, like a deep playoff run this year. Packers. Jordan Love getting hurt is going to be a big obstacle, especially if he's out for some time. But overall, I think it was a great football game to watch for sure. But
let's jump into that next game.
Oh, you want to talk about it now?
Yeah,
you don't want to save that? You want to just rip the Band-Aid?
I got nothing to say about the next game.
All right, listen, I have one word for this game, unfortunately, and it's abysmal. And that's just the only way you can describe that Bengals-Patriots game. Both teams were just abysmal, man. It was so bad. Offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball. Ramondre Stevenson actually had a pretty good game. And then Jamar Chase, all things considered, he caught, I'm pretty sure, all of his targets for 60 yards, and he didn't play the whole game. Right. So that just shows you Bengals, you got to pay that man.
Man.
You got to pay that man.
Pay T. Higgins too.
Yeah, while you're at it, why not?
If I had the money, I'd do it myself, but I don't have that kind of money.
So I ain't got Jamar Chase money, but I don't think the season's over. I will take a chance to apologize to the Patriots fans. I was picking on them before this in the last episode. Yeah. And man, maybe the Patriots win a couple games this year. You never know, Yeah. So what do you think though about your Bengals?
I sit here and I do owe the Patriots fans an apology, a big apology. Last week I said that week 2. The Patriots fans are going to be looking forward to week 2 to have a better outcome. And as I sit here looking forward to week 3. You know what I mean?
Because
the Bengals play the Chiefs week 2. Yeah. And I'm like, man, let's just get to week 3 where we get a team that we can beat, hopefully. Yeah. But, man, as far as the game, honestly, the Bengals, man, I love you guys still. I've been a fan since I was a kid, through the 90s. I'm forever going to be a Bengals fan. But that's tough to watch. As a fan, that's tough to watch. Got to get it together. That's embarrassing. I don't think I've seen the Bengals look that bad since like 2002. Honestly,
man, we're going back.
I was in the second grade, man. Like, come on. I
We're
remember
going
sitting
back.
there looking at my dad, being like, well, "Why do they suck?" You know what I mean?
so
Like
bad?
with the little square TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just suck. But anyway, man, yeah, Bengals, get it together. It's just as a fan, it's like, man, I want to be excited, but that stole all the excitement for the season.
Yeah.
I might be watching other teams and investing in other teams because of it, but. Anyway, move on to the next game because I'm done talking about that game.
He said, I'm done with it.
Next game, we have the Rams playing the Lions.
That was a good game.
The Rams
really
and the
good game.
Lions.
Yeah, that was an overtime win for the Lions, man. That was a good one. I think the Lions look okay. My big takeaway from that game was I think the Lions might have too many mouths to feed. And I know that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
But you've seen in other sports, right? Sometimes when you have too much talent on a team, like too many players to give touches to, it kind of hurts you because you're more worried about spreading the offense instead of like focusing on like who's just open kind of thing. I hope the Lions don't run into that, but it kind of concerns me a little bit because you look at like Amon-Ra, you look at some of the guys' stat line for that game this week. It's a little concerning. But I still think they're a good team. I still think they're a playoff team, all that good stuff. And then honestly, on the Rams side of the ball, the only thing that interests me a lot was Cooper Kupp. I think Cooper Kupp's the wide receiver one again. And I think that was in my receiver video. Everybody was telling me, no, Cooper Kupp's I think Cooper Kupp's back. And Stafford had over 300 passing yards, so we'll see. Yeah. But what'd you think?
I thought that was, we go back to even last week. I said that's the game of the week almost for me. Yeah. I think that was that game, and there was another game that I was like, which one's the game of the week? But I enjoyed it. I remember sitting last night. I was on the edge of my bed like a little kid, feet crossed, literally just sitting there on the edge of the bed, just watching it, looking at the TV, like. So it was a great game. I love seeing the Lions just run the ball. Their run scheme is great. I mean, as a team, I kind of disagree with you a little bit. I think having all that talent helps them. They've got to respect Amon-Ra St. Brown. They got to respect. They can't just load 8 guys in the box, right? Because then Jared Goff play action that thing, hit any one of them. Now you got Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams, and Amon-Ra. So it's like. You can't load 8, 9 guys in the box to stop David and Jahmyr Gibbs. So it's a deadly offense. And their defense played pretty well. Yeah. Hudson was. Yeah. So anyway,
he's an animal. Yeah.
I like the game. I like the Lions. I like them coming out winning. The Rams though, man, they put up a fight. Yeah. That defense shocked me. The Rams defense also played very well. Yeah. Like very well. So
all things considered, yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be. Kind of sluggish, losing some key players, but they were great.
So, what'd you think about the Texans Colts game, man? What'd you think about that?
So, I didn't get to watch any of this game.
None of it.
Yeah, I was out with some friends, and I didn't get to. It wasn't on any TV. I was out at the restaurant, and the restaurant was only showing the Titans game. Right. And I kept asking, like, "Yo, can we put like the Bengals game on, or like any other team?"
But they spared you from that.
Huh?
But they spared you from that.
Oh, yeah. I'm sitting there like a Bengals, all Bengals, decked out my Bengals stuff at a restaurant. Like, embarrassing.
And they said, nah.
Everyone just kept being like, hey, man, sorry about your team. But, no, Texans and Colts. That, I had it pulled up on my phone. Yeah. Propped up against my drink. And it was just nuts. I think the next time they play each other, I'm watching that game.
Oh, yeah.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched a good portion of it. It was a great game. I mean, Anthony Richardson had a pretty good game. C.J. Stroud had a pretty good game. Nico Collins went ballistic in the game, man. He shocked me. Like, I knew Nico Collins was going to be a part of the offense, right? Yeah. Like he has been, but I did not expect him to be the leading receiver on that team. Hey. Joe Mixon had a great game. Like, man, you go across the board. Even Jonathan Taylor didn't have a bad game by any means. Yeah. The only thing that concerned me as far as, like, with the Colts is they were kind of, like, make or break on big plays, right?
Yeah.
So you have like Alec Pierce, right? Where if you look at his stat line, you're like, holy cow, that was an insane game, right? But they were just off of 2 big plays, right? And like Anthony Richardson had 200 passing yards on 9 completions.
Yeah.
Right? So like that's a little I don't know how sustainable that is, right? Long term into the season, right? I don't know if you can complete 9 passes in a game and make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I guess you can if they're for 200 yards and they can win, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It was a good game to watch. It was within a 2-point win, so I mean, it was a great game.
I knew that it was going to be a close game. Yeah. I don't think the Colts are a playoff team, especially in the AFC. Personally, I don't think they have that type of team. Yeah. But I do think next year we'll be like excited about the Colts and what they're doing. But it was a good game from what I could see on the stats. I mean, I had it pulled up and saw back and forth. But it looked like it was a fun game. I'm definitely gonna watch the next one. But let's jump to the next one. So the next one we got the Dolphins versus the Jags.
Dolphins, Jags, man. I don't know. You start that one. I don't know if I have that much on that game. I'm not gonna lie.
I honestly, personally, I had put money on this game. I was like, okay, I'm gonna put some money on the Dolphins.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically, yeah. I don't put money on games.
Yeah. Hypothetically speaking, I don't know. I don't know the rules on that, but Anyways,
we won't talk about my betting then.
Hypothetically.
But dang. But the game was good. It was actually, I was excited to see the Jags move the ball. I think I mentioned in a couple episodes, Trevor looked good. Like, he really is looking good. He's going through his options. He's going through his reads. Now, is he like lights out an elite, fantasy scorer or whatever? But as an NFL quarterback, the dude looks good. Like, that's a quarterback that I can build an organization around personally. Now, he hasn't done anything with it. He's gone to the playoffs, but that's about it. But and as far as the Dolphins, Tua, same thing, man. Tua wasn't just he wasn't just staring down Tyreek. There was a play where he had Tyreek come across the screen, looked at it, saw that Tyreek had 3 guys around him, found Jalen Waddle on a deep crosser. And it's like that's maturity. That's like what I like to see. So I was excited. I was very excited to watch a little bit of both those teams kind of take that next step this year. They're a better team. Yeah. Game was good. So that's my opinion.
Yeah. I didn't get to watch much of this game. But, I mean, I know Tyreek had a 70-yard touchdown. I know that, I mean, from what I saw, right, because kind of when I was out, I was looking at my phone trying to keep up, and I mean, the Dolphins are just explosive, right? Yeah. Now the Jaguars did a lot better than I thought they were going to do. Yeah. Especially because I'm not a huge believer in T-Law, so he looked a little better than what I thought I'd see, but also it's week 1. You haven't convinced me yet. I'm still on my boat of no more Trevor, but we'll see. Wow. We'll see by the end of the season. Yeah. So we're gonna, as these episodes progress, we'll check in on the Trevor Lawrence if he's being shipped off. Yeah. But so the next game we have on the list is Saints Panthers. Oh. I'm gonna let you start because if I start, I will not stop. So take it away. Go ahead.
Well, my takeaway is the Saints did that much damage barely using Chris Olave. I'll just leave it there. They barely used Chris Olave, and that team did that much damage. So, I don't even know what else. I don't want to say. He's about to bury the Panthers, so I don't want to add to it. No. But I'll just say this: Bryce Young, man, you're not a rookie anymore. It's awkward. You know what I mean? It's awkward now. It's last year I was like, hey, he's a rookie. He's gonna figure it out. Anthony Richardson looked better than you,
Jaden Daniels looked better. Trevor Lawrence looked better.
Well, Trevor Lawrence has been in the league a little longer.
Oh, I know.
It's one of those things where Anthony got
Gardner
hurt.
Minshew looked better.
Well, Gardner's mature. He's gone through.
Oh, hey, listen.
But
Tyrod Taylor looked better, and he played for 3 snaps. But anyway.
But anyway, it's one of those things. Yeah, I'm okay. I don't know. As far as Bryce, I don't know. They've got some talent on the team. I mean, they got a good coach. They got some talent, but I just don't know what Bryce is doing as a leader. But go ahead. You do. What did you think of that game?
Oh, I need a shovel.
A shovel.
Dude, the Panthers are abysmal. They're so bad. Before we even started this episode, and I think even before last episode, I've been taking my digs at the Panthers, and it's worse than I even thought, guys. Like if you thought I was burying them before week 1, y'all don't even know. They're so. I don't think they'll win a game this year. I genuinely think the Panthers will not win a single game, especially after watching that.
Yeah.
You upgraded. You gave Bryce, Deontay Johnson. He has Adam Thielen. Like, he still has a couple people he can throw to. And it's just Bryce. It looks like Bryce. It looks like he's playing Pop Warner football. Like, he just doesn't belong. And I know I'm going in, and I know. Listen, for all the people, I know he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. I know I am not even remotely close to that, but in retrospect of him being an NFL player, it's abysmal. Honestly, at the end of the season, if Bryce does not do anything, if they win no games this year, they need to get rid of Bryce Young. And I know that sounds premature because it's his second year, but look at some of these other guys that are on their second and third years. They are miles and leaps and bounds above where he's at right now. Anyways, I'm just gonna stop because I could keep going on and on about the Panthers, but my take out of this is I genuinely think they can win 0 games this year. But yeah. Anyways, before I keep going on and on, I'll ask you about the last game in this segment, the Bucks Commanders. What did you think about that game?
Honestly, that game was fun.
Yeah,
I thought that was a fun game. Unfortunately, I did fall asleep in the fourth quarter. I was so mad when I woke up, but I was actually enjoying that game. But I ate too much lunch. I was like, I'm just gonna go home and lay down.
Afternoon nap, too much
Sunday,
food.
It's nice outside. I'm just gonna lay down real quick and turn this game on.
Always happens.
But man, that game it was fun. Baker looked great. Baker freaking looked great. I've never seen Baker play like that actually ever.
Yeah. I think he finished QB1 in fantasy football if y'all play fantasy football. I think he finished QB1, but he had a great game.
Dude, Baker, incredible. Looked incredible, did great. You had Mike Evans, I think he's almost first ballot Hall of Fame. I think he's going to end up being first ballot, personally. And then you had Chris Godwin looking good. Now, the thing about the Bucks, I didn't know what they were doing with their running backs. I don't know what was going on there, honestly.
That's an interesting.
I was trying to figure that out, but Bucks, they look good. There were some good things on the Commander side too.
Yeah.
I don't think Jaden Daniels did great.
Yeah.
I think he was serviceable, but he's a rookie. It's his first game. I'm like, hey, I'm not going to have a strong opinion yet, but there was some good, there was some bad with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
And the Commanders, running back situation, no idea what's going on.
It was pretty split, but yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just but it was a good game. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, I think it was a good game. I think Tampa Bay really showed that they might win that division. They really came out swinging. And honestly, I'm not mad at the Commanders' performance, considering it's a rookie quarterback, considering they're figuring some stuff out. They've got to get Terry McLaurin involved if they want to win games. That was my biggest takeaway from them was the running back thing is getting figured out. That's okay, but you've got to get your wide receiver one involved if you want to win some games and get points. So, again, though, I'm not mad at it, right? They're going to take a couple games to figure out, right? But I think overall it's a great game to watch.
I will say Washington Commanders defense is like that rainbow strip in Mario Kart. Dude, anything gets a boost. That defense, I forgot to mention this. That defense did really, and they look terrible. But the Bengals defense, I think the worst defense of the week was Carolina, Bengals, Washington. Those are the top 3 worst defenses I saw.
Literally for the next 18, 19 weeks, you could just leave Carolina at the worst offense and defense in the NFL. It's just.
But Washington, the defense was pretty rough. So it's a new segment called Studs and Duds. This is strictly about fantasy. So buckle up because I'm going to jump this over to Preston. We're going to go through quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight ends. So we're going to give our stud. We're going to give our dud.
For week one.
For week one. So Preston, starting off, who was your stud quarterback?
I mean, this has got to be the most give me stud quarterback, right? At least in week one, if you look across the board. Baker Mayfield, right? I mean, dude, he played so good. And a little side personal note, it pains me to say, I benched him for Trevor Lawrence this week, and boy was I wrong. And you know what? Shout out actually to a friend. I was at church with him, and he was looking at my team, and he said, "Man, you're not gonna start Baker over Lawrence?" I said, "Nah, I'm gonna ride with T-Law this week, nah, And he goes, "Oh man, I would start Baker." I said, "Nah, you were right." That's all I gotta say. I'm publicly admitting I was wrong. I should have taken your advice. You know who you are, but Baker's my stud. I mean, I don't even gotta go over his stats. Like he was literally QB1 this week. I mean, he was phenomenal. But who's your stud?
So for my stud, it's gonna be Mr. Anthony Richardson himself. Anthony Richardson for fantasy. Now, as far as NFL, different topic. But for fantasy, dude, to complete 9 passes, get over 200 yards. Get 2 touchdowns rushing on the ground. Yeah. Come on now. That is what I like to see in a fantasy quarterback. Yeah. That's just... Now, is that sustainable? I don't think so. But you know what? Who was it? I'm not even going to go that topic. But long story short, I've seen way least capable quarterbacks do, crazy things. So anyway.
Yeah. No, I like it. That's a great pick. Who's your... I'm going right back to you.
Back to me?
Yeah, why not? Who's your dud quarterback?
Oh, so this hurts me to say, pains me to say, but Mr. Joe Burrow is my dud this year.
That's a shot to the heart.
You guys probably know if you listen to the episode. I'm big Bengals fan. Yeah, big Bengals fan.
The biggest.
I wouldn't say I'm the biggest because I know some people. I know some people that are more.
He's a moderately. No, I'm just
kidding. I'm a moderate to high. Yeah. But no, Joe Burrow, fantasy wise, man, you didn't have a bad QBR. You look at it was like you just didn't have that many opportunities. But I don't know who calls the plays. I don't know if it's Zach Taylor. I want to see more. That's all I gotta say. I just want more. Yeah. You have studs all around you. You have Jamar. You have T wasn't playing, but I mean, there's studs all around. Yeah. So anyway, Joe is my dud this week in fantasy, unfortunately. But who's your dud?
All right, y'all might say I'm picking on an easy target, right? You might give me a little bit for this, but you know what? Everybody's fair game. Okay, if you start in the NFL, you're fair game. I don't care if you're a rookie or not. Caleb Williams is my dud. Damn. It was not abysmal, but it was rough. I mean, if you watch that game, man, he made the Titans defense look like they were the Niners defense, And I know they ended up still winning the game. I understand that, so I know some of y'all are going to come at me on that part. But fantasy football-wise, if you look at Caleb Williams' stat line, it was not good. It just wasn't good. And he didn't look like he was... I know he's not comfortable. I know he's a rookie. I know he can improve, right? But what I'm saying is I hope and pray it can only go up from here because it was bad. It was bad. It wasn't Bryce Young bad, but it was on the trajectory. But I have hope. I still have hope for him, but based on the numbers this week, he's my dud for sure.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's so running in now? We're going to running backs. Who is your stud running back?
Stud running back. Yep. So Jordan Mason. Jordan
the Niners back
from the Niners. I mean, side note, Jordan, how'd you know Friday? That's a whole.
Hey, we can do the whole little side thing on that.
Hold up.
I
know you guys keep your secrets.
Something ain't right.
Yeah, something ain't right. I know there's secrets, and you probably found out Friday. But man, Jordan, that was a great game. Yeah. That was a stud of a game. Yeah. Dang, man.
Yeah, I think he had 150 yards and a touchdown, or something. He had a phenomenal game.
It was I think it's running back 1.
Yeah.
Like
Does that mean that people overpaid for McCaffrey potentially?
I think there's more going on in that.
Yeah, I think he might be a little more hurt than what they're talking about.
Yeah, I think he's. I think there might be a couple games of Jordan.
Yeah.
But anyway, personally, that's my stud.
Yeah.
What about you? What about your stud?
My stud running back was Saquon, man.
Yeah.
He had a phenomenal game. And honestly, the two things I notice about our 2 running backs that are studs this week is if you give a team a good offensive line, not anybody can be a great running back, but a lot more people can be great running backs with a great offensive line.
We were watching the Niners game, and I'm literally like, I could run through that B gap, dude.
Oh, yeah. The Niners' offensive line was just...
I could get through that B gap.
It was parting like the Red Sea.
Now, do I want to get tackled? No, I ain't trying to get tackled. I ain't trying to be sitting there
but I will say Saquon. But same thing with Saquon, right? Like the blocks that the gaps he was hitting through. He looked good, man. And I know a lot of people worried about him going from Giants to there. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff with that going on, and a lot of people honestly. Because I took Saquon in a couple leagues, and some people really were like, I don't know, but and I've already heard from people that in my leagues that are like, it was only for 1 week. Hey. Well, we'll see.
Oh no, I think Saquon's here to stay. I think Saquon could be RB1.
Oh yeah,
fantasy wise, end of the year. Personally,
I 100% agree. But
we should talk about some hot takes.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, go ahead.
But anyways, that's my stud. So who's your dud running back?
Dud running back. Okay, I gotta look in here. I gotta lean forward. Oh yeah.
I gotta read.
Yeah, I gotta lean forward because I'm blind. I gotta read the script.
You said the script?
No, we just take some notes.
Nah, it's not a script. He's got his own notes. Yeah. We have our own separated notes.
That way we're not saying the same thing.
Right. Yeah. But we don't discuss it before. It is raw reaction.
This is raw reaction.
But
he
also,
has no idea.
I don't know what I ate for dinner tonight, so
he has no idea what I'm about to say.
Anyways,
my dud is DeAndre Swift.
Ooh.
In fantasy.
Swift.
I thought he was going to be more involved, especially with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's him or the coaching. Honestly.
Or Caleb.
It could be Caleb. I think there is. I think it was. I watched the Titans game. Unfortunately, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, this is just chaotic, man. It felt so chaotic. Will Levis and Caleb Williams, both young guys, doing things that are just like, it's like for Will, I was like, Will, stop taking all these hits, then for Caleb, I'm like, Caleb, just stand in the pocket and make the pass, Who knows? But DeAndre Swift, man, I think he's my fantasy dud. He might have had a great game as a player. Yeah. But as for fantasy, not a lot of production, not a lot of numbers, and that's what I look for. So, who's your dud?
My dud is also kind of a give me, guys. Right? I mean, you heard in this episode, you heard last episode, you're probably gonna hear it all year. I'm sorry in advance, I know, but my dud was Chuba Hubbard. Honestly, you know what? I'm going to extend it. Any running back on the Panthers is my dud. Just terrible. Hopefully that rookie kid gets healthy and can come back and put up some numbers. But yeah, I think their stat lines were like 2 yards or something. It was terrible.
It was bad.
Everything about the Panthers' offense is rough this year. I mean, the only things they've got going for them are Deontay Johnson and Adam Thielen. And even then, if you can't have a quarterback that can throw him the ball, it won't matter anyways. But I'm going to stop on my Panthers rant because I've already done that in this episode once. So we're going to move on to Jerome. Who's your stud wide receiver?
This dude is a stud. I don't know about next week, but this guy was a stud. He's been a stud. Jaden Reed from the Green Bay Packers. That guy is a stud. My goodness. Watching that game, watching him, jeez, I got nothing else to say besides he's a stud. Just incredible. For fantasy. Now, but man.
Yeah.
He's it.
Yeah, he had a great game. I mean, fantasy-wise, did he hit 100 yards? I can't remember off the top of my head, but...
Dude, it's not... his route running. I mean, everything about him. I'm just like, this dude could be top 50. I mean, he's top 15 this year.
Depending on Jordan Love is missing time or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I did like what I saw from him for sure.
Yeah, I think he's in that top 15 for me.
Yeah, I like it.
No questions. Who's your stud?
So my stud is a guy that I honestly didn't really predict to have a great week one. Yeah. But he kind of surprised me. Rashee Rice.
Yeah.
From the Chiefs is my
Another
stud.
Guy.
He had over 100 yards. I think he did it on 4 or 7 receptions, somewhere in there. He had a pretty good productive night. I know Xavier Worthy had the touchdowns, but man, Rashee Rice was kind of the go-to as far as throwing the ball from Mahomes. From what I was watching the game, man,
sure.
He kind of looked like not a clear wide receiver one, but you could tell that he was definitely getting a lot more of the looks for that. I know Xavier Worthy got a couple of those special reverse plays and in the blown coverage touchdown, which that's a whole side rant.
That's a whole rant.
I will say, here's the one thing. This is just a little side piece. Just bear with me for 1 second. I don't know about you guys, but when you watch NFL games, I cannot stand the announcers that commentate games, because sometimes on plays like this, right, when Xavier Worthy went past, I think it was Marcus Peters, and they were in a zone coverage. Mm-hmm. Marcus Peters thought there was a safety behind him in zone. There wasn't. So Mahomes had a wide open throw. And these announcers would have told you that Xavier Worthy was the next Calvin Johnson Jr. off of that play. They were going up and down like, oh my goodness, it was blown coverage, guys. Come on. But that goes out to the announcers. It has nothing to do with this episode. That's just one of my frustrations, man. I was watching that game and they were just like, he's generational. And I'm like, dude, it was blown coverage. There's nobody there. If you gave me that opportunity, I would have caught that ball. But anyways, not to take away from Xavier Worthy. Obviously, he's talented, but man, it's just so frustrating hearing some of these announcers sometimes. But
I get more mad at the refs than announcers.
The refs, don't even start on the refs. Yep.
I'm like, cool. The announcers, say what you're gonna say. The actions of what the refs do sometimes.
The amount of lineup flags.
Woo, oh my gosh!
That game felt like there was a flag every play.
Man, but I feel you. Sometimes the announcers. I just mute the TV, honestly.
Yeah, I'll be like, what am I listening to? But anyways, that's a side rant right there. But who's your
stud?
Yeah, who's your stud receiver?
Stud receiver is DK Metcalf, man.
Oof. Yeah.
As far as fantasy, I don't know what his job was for the week. He could just been like, we're running the ball, you're blocking as like a team scheme, right? But as far as fantasy, there was no production. I mean, I don't own you. I don't own any shares of DK. I never have drafted DK in fantasy. I never will. The up and down spikes. I will always get Mike Evans over DK. If it's always that choice for me, and I'm like, Mike Evans, it's consistent 10 plus points. I'll take it.
Right.
But DK, I know he's a great talent. There will be spike weeks. I'm glad this year I played you week one.
Yeah.
I sat there and I fell asleep. And then I woke up, and you had the same amount of points when I fell asleep. Then when I woke up, I was like, great. And I had Mike Evans, so I just woke up, and I was like, this is even better. But DK Metcalf is my dud. Who's dud receiver for fantasy?
All right.
Who's your dud receiver?
I'm going, coming into this episode, when I wrote down this name, I was ready to give him Panthers level treatment.
Oh.
I was. But you know what? I decided it's not the holiday season. I was going to say it's the holiday season. It's not. Oh. But no, you know what? I'm going to give him some grace, okay? Because his quarterback played pretty rough. And he didn't have a whole lot of targets and opportunities to do anything. So I'll give him a slight break before I go crazy about about his season. But it was Drake London on the Falcons. It was bad. I mean, it was really bad. I think he had 2 catches for 10 yards or 15 yards, somewhere in there. But he I think he had less than 3 or 4 targets. I mean, he wasn't getting any looks. But again, I don't know how much is on him on that. Was he just not getting open? Kirk Cousins didn't play great. There's a lot of factors to it. So before I go Panthers level, dislike on Drake London for the season. I'm gonna give him a couple more games and see how it shakes out. I'm trying to be fair with Drake London. Panthers don't get any fairness, but
I think
Drake
they got
London
the Eagles on Monday night.
Well,
we're about to talk
then
about
then we're gonna be on trend with that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But anyways, who is your last position in this, segment?
For studs
Who's
and
your stud tight end? And this is tough. This is really tough.
This was tough.
Yeah.
So my stud tight end, and tight ends this week in fantasy, I'm going to be real. There's like maybe 2 that did something.
Yeah.
Everybody got hurt by tight end. Everybody. It was like, I was like, man, my tight end is like absolutely doing terrible. And I'd look over at my opponent and be like, their tight end is doing terrible. Like, and I'd go to leagues. I played in like tons of different leagues. I'd go to each different league and be still like, dud. But as far as a stud, right? My stud tight end is going to be Noah Gray.
Oh,
I think there is a passing of the. I don't know if it was game script, but I saw kind of what we saw. But I saw Travis staying in the block a little more and Noah going out on routes. And I like Noah Gray. I think I don't think he's gonna take over this year. But if I was in a dynasty league or anything like that, I'd be picking up Noah Gray. I think there is a passing of the guard there, and I think he was.
Because they kind of had a split. Like I think they were similar stat line too. They were pretty close.
It was like within 2 yards and like same amount of targets. I mean, it was. It's something that I'm like, that's interesting. I liked it.
I thought we were on the same tight end.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh well, there's a clear one.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna. I thought we were gonna have the same guy, but hey, respect to the shout out for Noah Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your stud?
I mean, my stud is Isaiah Likely. I mean, dude, man, you've got to be kicking yourself if you took Mark Andrews. I'm so sorry for all the people that took Mark Andrews. That's a tough break. I mean, not only did Mark Andrews not play, when he played, he didn't look good. And it's kind of interesting because he said he was back to 100% health, and everybody was expecting Mark Andrews to be that man. But Isaiah Likely had a great game. I mean, he had a 50-yard touchdown. He almost had, game tying or game winning potentially on that red zone, and he looked good even with setting blocks, rolling out. Honestly, he looked like one of Lamar's favorite targets, even over Zay. So I mean, he looked phenomenal. But yeah, I mean, he's the clear one. I mean, he was tight end 1. Like he had a great week. Who's your to round out the segment? Who's your dud tight end?
So duds, we got a lot to pick from.
Yeah,
I will say before I give my dud. As far as for fantasy tight ends, like I how do I say this in a kind of way? Like it was such a shaky week 1 for fantasy that like you kind of got to let it all settle, because there are some guys that like when I was watching, I go back and I'm like, what happened in that game? For instance, Mark Andrews, he was blocking. Their offensive line was so bad, the Baltimore Ravens, that they had him playing left tackle. Like he had to be in there blocking, and so they were using 12 personnel, sending Isaiah Likely out there as a receiver because they needed Mark Andrews to block. So like it's gonna shake out. They're gonna get their footing and kind of all, but there will be some dud tight ends that are drafted high. And I believe the guy I'm about to mention. Is going to potentially be week 1. He was a dud. I hope. I had spoken earlier on him in an episode talking about him potentially being a dud 2 weeks ago, and then week 1 he comes out and he gives us 1 fantasy point. And I like this guy. I had him last year. I think he finished tight end 2. Evan Ingram. I love the talent. I just don't see. I don't know what is going on in Jacksonville when it comes to their tight ends. Either they 12 personnel be thrown at 2 different tight ends, or they just literally don't use him. So Evan Ingram's crazy good, but the week 1, just a dud.
Yeah.
I mean, so who's your dud? I'll get off my horse there.
My dud's even worse than yours, man. It really is. My dud is a guy that I actually took in some of my leagues, and I think we talked about in our top 10 tight end episode, which, by the way, if you haven't watched, go back and watch our other 6 episodes. They're all on YouTube and Spotify, and you can find us on TikTok as well. But anyways, my dud is Luke Musgrave on the Packers, man. He went 0 for zero. He just had zeros.
He was running routes. He got his.
He had he had 2 or 3. I think he only had 2 or 3 targets, but like, dude, it's like he wasn't playing the game.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you watched it, it was weird, and it kind of goes back to what you're talking about with Mark Andrews. I haven't given up hope on him. Yeah. Obviously, he was a dud because he had 0 points in fantasy football this week, but I haven't given up on him fully yet. But it's like, man, you might have to like. If this trend stays, you might have to move on to somebody else fairly quickly.
Find a pickup.
Yeah, find a pickup somebody somewhere. Pick up the other Packers tight end because, I mean, he actually had 60 or 70 yards. So,
yeah, I was sitting there like,
yeah, but I mean, it's kind of a give-me pick. But, Luke Musgrave. And I only bring that up because I think a lot of people were expecting him to be the clear-cut tight end 1 over there. And he was obviously not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that rounds out this segment. Specifically in this segment, we're talking about week 2 predictions for wins and losses. Let's jump right into it, man. Let's jump into Thursday. Bills-Dolphins. Who you got?
Bills-Dolphins, dude. This is gonna be a game. It's in Miami. To make it short and sweet, I got Miami beating the Bills for the first time in so long. Miami's gonna take that game. Josh Allen's a little banged up. I don't think he's like out or hurt or anything, but I think the Dolphins are gonna come and beat the Bills at home. What about you?
Oh, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah,
I think Dolphins take it, especially because it's at Miami. I think they'll win. I think it'll be a good game to watch.
It's good. I'm watching that game hands down.
But I think the Dolphins pull it up.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So jump into the next game. So we got the Raiders going the Las Vegas Raiders going to the Ravens.
Oh, Ravens are taking that, especially if it's at Baltimore.
It's at Baltimore.
Oh yeah, Ravens are taking that hands down. Especially watching how close they were with the Chiefs and how well they've been playing.
Yeah,
the Ravens are taking that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
The Ravens are taking that game. Yeah.
Especially at Baltimore. There's no way.
Yeah. I'm looking at the spread too, and it's bad. So that's almost 10-point spread right there.
Oh,
but
geez.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well. Next game on the layout is Jaguars-Browns.
Yeah.
What do you got for that?
So you got the Browns going to the Jaguars.
Oh, they are going. Okay.
Yeah.
They're going to Duval.
So they're going to I got the Browns getting their first win.
Oh, interesting.
I think the Jaguars are the better team, but I think I don't think the Browns offense is going to score touchdowns. I think the Browns offense is going to have enough to get field goals, and I think the Browns defense is going to score touchdowns, and the Jags are just going to struggle against that Browns defense. That Brown defense is legit. I stand by it. I love watching them play, but who do you got?
I actually have Jacksonville taking it.
Okay.
And I'm actually kind of flipped because week 1, the Browns defense looked pretty rough against the Cowboys. I think Cowboys put up like 34 or 33 on them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, the Browns defense, is typically good, but I think Jacksonville, especially at home, I think they'll end up. It'll be a good game, but I think Jacksonville will take it.
Yeah.
But who do you got for Jets versus Titans?
So the Jets are coming to Tennessee. Unfortunately, I got the Jets.
Okay.
Watching Titans, they did decent. They did all right. But I think the Jets are going to come in after, this last week's loss. The Jets had some, mental mistakes. The Titans had a lot more than just mental mistakes. So I got the Jets winning that.
Listen, every week we do this, I always have one team, at least one team, that I call my crazy pick. The Titans are my crazy pick.
Dude.
I got the Titans beating the Jets at home. I don't know. I just got a feeling about it, man. I think that the Jets, they looked okay against the Niners, but they've got some stuff to figure out. But I like the Titans' odds, especially at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, man, to go with that feeling. All I'm thinking about is that song's like, it's more than a feeling.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why that's in my head right now. But let's jump to the next game. So 49ers at Vikings. I feel like this is an easy one. But last time I said that, I was wrong. So who do you got for 49ers going to the Minnesota Vikings?
So I have the Niners, but it's going to be a lot closer of a game. than anybody thinks.
Oh, dang. I don't think this is going to be close.
I think it's going to be close. The Vikings looked pretty good week one, honestly. I mean, pretty good. They looked decent. So I think it's going to be a lot closer of a game than people expect. But I do think the Niners win.
Okay, cool. The Niners are winning. This is gonna be a blowout.
Oh, okay.
The Vikings played the Giants. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's true.
They played a team they were trying to tie their shoes still. The Giants were like trying to still get situated, and the Vikings are just all right. I do like the Vikings, but the 49ers, watching them tonight, that's an elite team.
They were good.
So I got the 49ers. If they beat the Jets I think they beat the Jets almost by 20.
Yeah, almost.
It's gonna be ugly.
I think it was like 12 or 14 somewhere there. Yeah, it'll be bad.
It's gonna be ugly for the Giants or for the Vikings.
Dude, next game, I'm gonna let you start it. Chargers at Panthers.
You know what?
Who do you got there? Don't you dare! Don't you dare, man! Go ahead. Don't you dare say it.
The Chargers are going to win this game.
Okay, I was about to say.
I do want to find a week where I can say the Panthers are going to win confidently, but right now the Chargers will beat the Panthers this week. They're just going to run it down their throat, and unfortunately, the Panthers can't stop it. So
yeah.
Well, who do you got?
Oh, Chargers.
For real?
Yeah. All day. I mean,
Chargers.
They're going to win. No, I mean, it's the Panthers. B, it's a little bit of a homer pick, right? I like my Chargers, but no, I mean the Panthers they're terrible. It's another loss for the Panthers on their way to not winning a game this season. But anyways, moving on abruptly from that, who do you got in Seahawks Patriots?
Man,
who's taking that one?
Listen. Hear me out. Patriots are like that.
No.
Have you seen that kombucha girl? She takes a sip. She goes, it's. I don't know. The Patriots have got me like. Man,
you think there's something in the water?
Maybe they are good. Maybe they got a squad over there. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe my Bengals aren't that bad. Honestly, though,
that's from a Bengals fan right there. Shoot.
Truly,
you have Patriots winning?
No. I think it's hard because it's at the Patriots. They're home. You got the Seahawks going all the way over to New England. Like that's a flight.
But are you riding with the Patriots?
You know what? There is a better game that I want to actually pick my upset on. But this will be a close one. I think the Patriots will coming in high, coming home. The fans are going to show up. Seahawks are going to be a little tired. They're going to get in there. They're going to squeak out with a win. The Seahawks will, but the Patriots will put up a fight.
Okay.
So, who do you got?
I think the Seahawks win it. I think, I mean, unless you're the Bengals, there's no way you're losing to the Patriots. No, I'm just playing. No, the Patriots did look good in week one. But I've got Seattle going in there.
Ramondre Stevenson,
he had a great game,
dude.
Yeah, he really did. But I've got the Seahawks winning it. But who do you got for the Saints Cowboys?
So this is where the Saints are gonna have a hard time. The Saints are coming off beating up on the Panthers. And then the Cowboys just beat up on one of the best defenses in the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. To be fair, though, I think like the local high school could beat up on the Panthers at this rate.
Hey.
But anyways.
Call them up over there.
I'm going to call them up. Hey, listen, y'all want to practice? The Panthers are in town.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And so I think this is a game, and I'm not a Cowboys truther. I don't care about the Cowboys, but I think the Cowboys are that serious. We'll see how healthy they can stay, but I think the Cowboys are about to hurt the Saints. Like the Saints are going to the Cowboys. It's going to be Cowboys by it's going to be bad. Probably about 20 points.
So I'm flipped on that. I do have Dallas winning the game.
Okay.
I think it'll be within a score. I do.
A score?
Yeah, I think it'll be like a touchdown win.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll just all up it a little bit. 7-10.
Okay.
So 1 possession, maybe 2 possession win.
Dang.
But I think it'll be a lot closer than, especially if the Saints can involve Chris Olave. I think the game will be a lot closer.
Yeah.
But I do have the Cowboys winning it.
Yeah. I'm about that. We've had the same pick all the way through.
Oh, hey, not except for my Titans.
Oh, you did go Titans.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
we've had almost.
I'm just trying to make
picks.
I'm not trying to make my picks back. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. You gotta make up some of them picks. Yeah. From week 1.
Yeah, week 1.
What we got for the next game?
Next game, Giants going to the Commanders.
Oh, there's no way we could be split on it, but Commanders. The Giants only put up 6 points.
Unfortunately, the Daniel Jones experience.
It's
screen left, screen right.
Oh, it's so bad.
Screen left, throw pick. I can't do it, so I gotta go Commanders.
Yeah, I got to.
And I'm not trying to rip on the Giants. Just it was not.
No, I am. Daniel Jones is. You'd be better off trading for like Mac Jones, maybe call him Desmond Ritter. I don't know. Like
you know who looked good in the preseason was Zach Wilson.
Hey,
I'm gonna take some arrows for that.
Yeah.
But dude,
get Tommy DeVito back out there. Get him out there, man. Come on, you know.
He's at home, man. You know, he's at his mom and dad's house.
Anyway,
this
next game. Yep. Who do you got for the Bucks Lions? This is actually honestly. This might be my game of the week for me, too.
Okay. You already knew it was mine?
Oh, is that what you were saying?
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
Yeah.
Nope, you take it.
This is my game of the week. The Bucks versus the Lions. Now, the Lions just won. They're hyped. They're at home. They're going to want to show out, and they're going to want to run the ball. But, the Bucks just won. They figured out, I don't know, if Baker is going to be that hot. Baker always seems to be hot at the beginning of the year. Don't know if it's just a thing, but I think the Bucks, this is my upset, beats the Lions. Okay. And it's going to come down to another close, hard-fought game, and the Bucks are going to actually beat the Lions at home.
Yeah.
Who do you got?
For the sake of letting it be your upset, I'll take the Lions.
But you were feeling it too?
I was feeling the Bucks too, but for the sake of trying to give you a game to catch up on,
okay,
I'll go with the Lions. I do think it'll be a great game. I'll let it be your game of the week. I had another one that was between, so we'll let that be your game of the week. But this is the game that I'm sitting down to watch and really paying attention to. I think it'll be a great matchup for sure.
I'm getting that YouTube TV figured out.
4 screen.
Yeah, I gotta get 4 games up there. I'm tired of switching channels and
Who got time for that? Ain't nobody got time for that.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
But yeah, let's jump to the next game.
Yep, who we got?
Colts going to the Packers. Potentially no Jordan Love. Who do you got? Potentially no Jordan Love.
No Jordan Love. I have the Colts. Jordan Love. I have the Colts.
Oh.
I got the Colts winning it.
Is this your upset pick, or you just?
Oh no, I just think they're gonna win. My crazy upset pick was the Titans. This one, I think the Colts will win it. I think Anthony Richardson had a great performance in Week 1 as far as statistically, I'm gonna get a little heat for that, but I think he played very well. I think that the Packers defense looked a little interesting.
Yeah.
And I think Indianapolis goes in there and steals a win. I don't think the Packers are expecting them to play that good. Yeah. I don't know. There's just something about, I think also the travel back from Brazil. I think there's a lot of stuff that's just they've got to settle in. They may drop this game.
At home.
Yeah.
Hey.
What do you think?
If Jordan Love's not there, and I think he is not going to miss the game. So, unfortunately, if Jordan Love was there, I would say Packers.
Okay.
But since Jordan Love is a question mark, it's the start of the week. I don't know what his health is right now.
Right.
I'm going to pick the Colts. The Colts have a more complete team.
Yeah.
But it's tough to say. But I'm going to pick the Colts.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So rolling into the next game, who do you got for Cardinals Rams? Who do you got there?
Do you go first?
Oh, me go first?
You go first on this one. I got a lot to say about this game.
In my heart, I want to say Arizona. They're going to bounce back. Marvin Harrison actually get to play some football. But I don't think Arizona's going to have enough. I think the Rams looked too good against the Lions last week. If this was pre-week 1, I would have said that the Cardinals would have won.
Yeah.
But based on week 1 performances, Matthew Stafford threw for almost 320 yards. Cooper Kupp looked like he did in 2020. I mean, the Rams looked a lot better than what I thought they were going to, and the Cardinals looked a lot worse. So I'm going with the Rams on this one.
Dang, I thought I got you on that one.
Yeah.
But 100%, I think the Rams are about to smack down on the Cardinals. But I think it will be a fun, high-scoring game.
Yeah.
But the Rams' defense looked incredible. Did I say that earlier? I don't know, but the Rams' defense, incredible. I was shocked. I thought losing Aaron Donald, some of the other key players, was going to hurt them, but they looked great.
Yeah.
Offense looked incredible.
Yeah.
So did the Cardinals, but there are some things the Cardinals need to figure out.
Yeah.
The Cardinals will be good middle of the season. But anyway.
All right, well, who do you got for the Steelers-Broncos?
Jeez. All right, so if Justin Fields plays, Steelers wins this game.
Agreed.
If Russell Wilson somehow magically gets better, they lose the game.
Oh, okay. So yours is very quarterback contingent.
It is contingent on the quarterback. If the Broncos have to prepare for Justin Fields, they will not be ready.
So I think I'm on the other side. I think the Steelers win no matter what. I think they win by more if Justin Fields starts. But if Russell Wilson still starts, I think they still win because the defense is too good. And Bo Nix has got to figure out, he's got to settle in a little bit more. And I think the Steelers defense is just too much for the Broncos right now. So I've got Steelers winning it.
Steelers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, this next game.
Yeah, who you got next game?
Got my Bengals going to the Chiefs. Silent. I'll let you go first.
Is this a question? I mean, I'm sorry. The Chiefs.
I'm just gonna scroll up.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go ahead. What's the next game?
Chiefs are winning that. I mean,
let's see. We got Bears.
Yeah, Chiefs are winning it. I don't know if you even want to touch on that one, but the Chiefs are winning that, especially with how they looked against the Ravens.
I'm gonna say who day.
Okay. I mean, I get it. I would say it if I was a Chargers fan. I get it.
Yeah.
Respect.
The Bengals going to the Kansas City Chiefs. Being a Cincinnati native, I don't like to be embarrassed, and I'm hoping that the Cincinnati Bengals have a little bit of Cincinnati pride to them.
Yeah, maybe they're a little mad, you know?
So maybe they come out.
If they sign Jamar Chase, though. If they don't sign Jamar Chase, good luck.
You know what? I got the Bengals this week. I really do.
Get it, man.
I got the Bengals. I'm not even sorry. I'm picking my Bengals. Who they?
Get it, yep.
They're going to beat the Chiefs.
All right, fair enough.
That's nuts, but yes.
Next game. Bears, Texans. This is almost just as bad as the last game.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, the Texans are gonna hurt the Bears.
Yeah.
The Bears
feelings.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think.
100%.
Yeah,
Texans.
Sorry, Bears.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's it.
Texans are gonna smoke them.
Yep. Ain't nothing left. And then let's talk about the last game. So Monday night, we got the Falcons going to the Eagles. Again,
very easy for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think the Eagles are going to... I think that the Eagles are going to leave that game being the new franchise owners of the Falcons. It is going to be a smackdown.
Taking the birds out of the sky.
Yeah, they're setting up their throne in the nest, whatever analogy you want to use.
They done took their nest.
They done took over that nest. Flew
on up in there and just say, hey,
this is my nest.
This is my nest now. It's you, and you got to go.
Yep.
I'm with you. I think the Eagles. Now, I will say the Eagles look like they struggled. I saw Jalen. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. But Jalen Hurts looked confused. Jalen Hurts looked like he wasn't really processing what he wanted to do with the ball or where he wanted to go. Now, and even when it came to like processing the protections, right?
Yeah.
Being like, okay, like here. Now, he did fine, but there were some times where I'm like, I don't know about the Eagles, but this game, I think the Eagles take care of business. But if they catch any other team on a good day.
Anyways.
All right, anyway.
Thanks for tuning in to the 4th and 2 episode.